A week and a half before his formal proclamation, the president-elect and anointed commander-in-chief fills out the remaining slots for his legal team and another key cabinet post. His father's former defense chief, a Duterte-appointed official and incumbent justice secretary, and a just-retired and top military guy are the latest additions to the president-in-waiting's cast of alter egos, as per this report from PTV's Joshua Garcia.
Former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile has accepted President-elect Bongbong Marcos's offer for him to be his presidential legal counsel. Enrile is the oldest cabinet member in history at the age of 98. He served as a Minister of National Defense from 1972 until 1986 under BBM's father, the late President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Meanwhile, outgoing Justice Secretary Menardo Guevarra is being positioned as the new Solicitor General. For Guevarra, the job as a Solicitor General fits him given the 2 decades of experience he has as a lawyer, which assures him that he will be able to do his role defending the Republic of the Philippines and the Filipino citizens. For the meantime, former AFP Chief of Staff retired General Jose Faustino Jr. will be the officer in charge of the Department of Defense under the Marcos administration, temporarily being designated as Senior Defense Undersecretary until November 13 this year, when he assumes as D&D Chief. Aside from the newly appointed cabinet members, the BBM headquarters in Mandaluyong also welcomed 5 more foreign ambassadors during separate courtesy calls on the president-elect. Poland's ambassador to the Philippines, Jaroslav Szczepankiewicz, shared the talks he had with PBBM, during which they discussed food security, defense, particularly with the Philippine Air Force, as well as Poland's possible contribution to the incoming administration as it faces the economy's redemption from the pandemic.
And mostly we raise the questions of the food security in the Philippines and the contribution of Poland to assure the food security, and especially in the meat sector. Secondly, we are talking about cooperation in defense sector, and as you know, Poland is producing the Black Hawks for the Philippine Air Forces. So it's about this and the possibilities how to extend this cooperation.
PBBM and Bangladesh Ambassador to the Philippines, Boran Udin, talked about the ties and cooperation of the 2 countries in terms of agriculture and pharmaceuticals.
We had a very fruitful discussion, and the President-elect has expressed his keen interest in boost up our cooperation in agriculture sector, and we have discussed our joint cooperation in pharmaceuticals, agriculture, ceramic industries, glass fiber industries, jute and jute goods industries, garments industries, and we have also discussed about our cooperation in regional and international level.
New Zealand Ambassador to the Philippines, Peter Kell, said that his talk with PBBM covered the pursuance of maintaining peace, prosperity, and stability, as well as tourism and education with the Philippines.
We talked about the importance of the relationship to peace and prosperity in our region.
For the country of Nigeria, aside from agriculture, the Nigerian envoy to the president-elect that they are ready to coordinate with the Philippines in terms of natural gas or clean energy production.
I just met with the incoming president, President-elect Marcos. It was a very interesting session with him. We discussed bilateral relations. We look at areas of collaboration, agriculture, gas, natural gas, technology, finance. We discussed everything that the 2 countries can benefit from.
Lastly, Australia expressed the importance of their 76-year-old relationship with the Philippines and in pursuing developments with the defense sector and military exercises with the armed forces.
And we talked about our defence relationship and our cooperation between the Australian Defence Force and the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the training that we conduct with the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and our strong support for the Philippine military.
Joshua Garcia for The Nation.